Hi everyone. In this video, I want to cover the connectivity between Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. I find it very surprising that this is such a common requirement, and there are a lot of gaps in knowledge when it comes to how Excel, PowerPoint, and Word connect with each other. So I want to start with a simple Excel file, nothing special, where we have the region and the sales value, and I have a 15, a 25, and a 10, and we have north, south, and west. Now imagine you want to connect this to both Word and PowerPoint. So I'm opening a PowerPoint presentation as well. All you have to do is to press Ctrl+C. And when you come back to PowerPoint and you do a Ctrl+V, there are 5 options that you have. We have the option to use the destination style, which means the PowerPoint style. The option to use the source formatting, which means the formatting that was there in the Excel. Then the 4th option is as a picture. This is straightforward. And the 5th option is as text only. There is a 3rd option in the center called embed. Now what this does is that when you embed, it is not creating a link to the original Excel file. So if I make a change here, you notice that the change does not happen on the PowerPoint, but this is like an attachment. So a copy of the Excel file has been created inside your PowerPoint presentation. So if I right-click, go to worksheet object and edit it or open it, you will notice that we are able to make the change here. So one more time. If I right-click and I edit it, you can edit it in this interface. If you want to see the entire Excel opened as a separate window, you can go to Open, and it opens like this. So it's called Worksheet in Presentation 1. So one more time, double-click, and maybe I want to make a change here. I want to make this 50, and you notice we can make the change directly on PowerPoint. But here's the thing. This is not really what I want. I would like to connect my Excel to my PowerPoint so that a change in the Excel happens in PowerPoint as well. Now, there is a shortcut to do that. Once I copy the table from Excel with a Ctrl+C, we can come to paste and paste special. And here we go to paste link, and we click on Excel worksheet object. And as you can see, this has pasted this. And if I make a change to the original Excel, you notice a change happens here as well. But here's the catch. You can't edit it because it's a linked worksheet object. So the moment I go to edit, it is going to open the Excel on which you were working originally, which is not a bad thing, but then it stops me from making further changes to it, because whatever is there on the Excel is the only thing that is appearing on PowerPoint. So let us now look at the 3rd way of doing it. This time I will go to Insert Table, and we will insert a blank Excel spreadsheet. See, the problem with the first one was that even though we copied only these 8 cells, when I right-click and edit, you will notice that the entire Excel workbook has been copied, which doesn't really make sense. For one reason, it is going to increase the size of the file. Reason number 2, you will have a lot of content which you don't really want in the PowerPoint. And number 3, as a security concern, you're not able to stop the user from accessing the entire Excel workbook. A lot of people say, but why is the entire Excel workbook getting copied when you do an embed? That's how it works. Even if you copy a single cell and you go back to PowerPoint and then you do a paste as an embed, it is going to paste not just the cell, but the entire workbook. So what we want to do is to go to Insert Table and select an Excel spreadsheet. Now this creates a blank Excel spreadsheet within your PowerPoint. And what I would like to do here is just make this a little larger. We will go back, do a Ctrl+C. Now we don't want to do a Ctrl+V since that will be a regular copy and paste. We want to go to paste and do a paste link. Similar to how you link two Excel files, that is exactly what we are doing here. In case you want to change the link, you can also go to data and then edit links and then edit the link from here. Now, this way, we are not getting the entire content from that Excel workbook. We are only taking these 8 cells and linking them to our original Excel file. So I can even write a formula here, like a sum. Let's say we want to make it bold and do some type of conditional formatting on it. And let me also increase the width a little bit. And let us change the last color into a green. Perfect. Now let's see how this works. I'm going to put the PowerPoint to the right and the original Excel to the left. And you notice that as we make changes, do you see what's happening? The change is happening on the PowerPoint as well. And the best part is that you can even make your own update to it. So if you want to add a title or you want to change the label, you can always do that. For example, here, if I wanted to call it North and then South and then West, these are obviously not linked to the original Excel, but the other things, as you can see, still work perfectly. Personally, this is the one that I like to use most of the time because it takes a little bit more time to set up, but it also gives me complete control. For example, maybe one column is coming from one file and then another column is coming from a different file. Maybe you even want to do a VLOOKUP here. You can even do that. Exactly the same thing will work with Word as well. So just to quickly show you, even in Word, when I take an Excel data set and we do a Control V, we have the option of doing a link and use destination style. So you have the link appearing directly here, right? So we are linking it. That means any change in the Excel will happen here as well. Or you can also go and first create, insert table and a blank Excel spreadsheet. And like we did in PowerPoint, you can copy, come back, do a paste link like this. So it works perfectly. Let us also look at how charts work. Charts are actually easier to work with. So I'm just going to make a simple column chart here. We will press Control C. We go back to PowerPoint. You do a Control V. And on this, you can see that we have the option for destination theme and embed, source formatting and embed. And the middle one is link data. And the fourth one is also link data with destination and source formatting. And the final one is a picture. So if I select either one of these links, the destination theme or the source formatting, you will notice that this has been linked to your original Excel file. So if I come here and I make a change, let us say 10 and 5 and 5, the change happens in the PowerPoint as well. Let's also talk about how to present a pivot table. Let me open an Excel file first. Now, usually when you create a lot of work on Excel and you're presenting a PowerPoint, it's quite irritating to switch from one to the other, right? Now, unfortunately, there is no perfect answer to this, but then this is the method that I use and you can have a look at this. So I'm quickly going to make a pivot table and let's keep our sales in the value. We will keep our market in the rows. And I also want to keep a slicer. So we will go to pivot table analyze and we'll insert a slicer for my segment and our category. Perfect. There you go. And to top it off, let's also make a simple chart. So I'm going to make a pie chart or maybe a donut chart like this. So as you can see, we have created a pivot table which has a table and then it has a chart and then two slicers in it as well. What we want to do now is to select all these cells behind all these objects, right? Do a Control C. Come back to PowerPoint and then do a Control V. And once you've done that, you can simply say embed. This means that a copy of the original file has been created. And now you can make further changes directly on PowerPoint. For example, maybe you don't want to see these grid lines at the back. You want it to look more like a PowerPoint slide. So you can double click. And then I can go to View and then hide the headings, formula bar, and the grid lines. So as you can see, it looks very clean right now, like this. Now, of course, in the slideshow mode, you will not be able to edit it, but you can always press Escape. Simply do a double click. Change what you want to change. For example, I'm selecting consumer and office supplies, and then you can go back to slideshow mode. It's not a perfect solution, but I think it's fair enough. It at least saves you the hassle of switching on and off between the Excel, or rather to and fro between the Excel and the PowerPoint.